Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryder, and this is a beginner's guide to Sombra. In this video, we will go over the basic abilities and playstyle, strengths and weaknesses, and so forth of Sombra to kind of give you kind of a starter, basis, ground level tutorial on how she works and how she functions. Keep in mind, if you want to master a hero in Overwatch, it is going to take practice. Hours of practice, devotion to that hero, figuring out the nuances and tips and tricks. I'm going to give you a couple of tips and tricks to this hero. I'm going to, talk about strengths and weaknesses a little bit and some different combos you can pull off. But at the end of the day, the only thing that's really going to how to play it is by practicing it yourself, playing it in quick play, playing it in practice mode, and really getting down to the bare bones and figuring out how this hero works. Before I get started, guys, please go down below, hit the like button, subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and please make sure you check the description down below where I have my Twitch channel linked, where you can go on, drop a follow, and you can check out my stream where I stream pretty regularly on that channel as well. But without further ado, let's jump in to Sombra. Alright guys, so Sombra is a DPS hero, and she has seen one of the bigger reworks going from Overwatch 1 to Overwatch 2. Her whole kit is relatively the same. However, it's been changed dramatically in terms of how she functions and what she does. We're going to kind of jump into that today. So, Sombra, first of all, her primary fire is her machine pistol. It's a short-range automatic weapon, has 60 rounds in the magazine, and it fires pretty cotton-picking fast. It can headshot. It does actually a pretty respectable amount of damage, to be completely honest. You can do a pretty good amount of damage in a short amount of time. And her ult charge is, as you can see, not very long. Her main thing with her, though, are her passive abilities. As you can see here to the right-hand side of the screen, she has two passive abilities, one of which being the damage roll, but then she has her Opportunist, which basically means that if you have any critically injured enemies that are basically any critical injured enemies, you can detect them through walls, and you deal 40% more damage to hacked enemies. So anybody who's below 40% health, you're going to be able to see them through walls, and you're going to be able to kind of circumvent and target them and pick them off. So she's a very what's the word I'm looking for? She's a very opportunistic hero, the passive says. You want to kind of pay attention to the health pools. If you see somebody dip low and get into that vicinity, you're that individual who can go in and finish them off. And that is through her main gimmick, which is her hack. This is the main thing of Sombra. It did see a little bit of a rework. With this ability, you hit your secondary fire button, and you will target your closest, whatever you're targeting. You will hack them. For a short period of time, they will not be able to use their abilities for I think it's like a second. But during that time, you'll be able to see them through walls, and they will take 40% more increased damage. Keep in mind, when you hack, if you take any damage while you're trying to hack, it will interrupt your hack, and you will have to try again. So you want to be smart and not just run up in the face of somebody and be like, oh, there you go. No, you want to make sure that you are clever about this. And one thing that helps with that is stealth. This is her other ability. Stealth is something, it is canceled on use. Okay, as long as you hit it and you're not spotted, you have an increased movement speed and you are invisible to the entire enemy team. No one can see you. However, there are a couple of caveats to this. First off, you get too close to the target, which is not going to show it with the bots, but if you get too close to a target, it will show detected. You will be seen, and you will stay visible for like a split second as long as you're near them. So don't get too close until you're ready to pounce. Second off, when you go to hack a target, you will come out of stealth for the duration of time it takes for you to hack that target. So you want to make sure that you don't just, again, run in front of the team and just be like, here's my hack. No, you want to be behind them, to the side of them, so they don't see it coming, and you can just hack them. And as you can see, it came across, detected across the screen for the duration of the time. Now, if you are not knocked out of stealth, when you hack the target, you will go back into stealth immediately. And then, of course, you have your translocator. Oh, and also any damage while you take while you are in stealth will knock you out of stealth. So don't run down the main field where all the main fire is going on and your team's fighting their team and there's gunfire going all over the place. Because if you get tagged by a stray bullet, it'll knock you out of stealth. And then your stealth's on cooldown, you're caught with your pants down, you're going to get wrecked. Okay, so don't let that happen. But anyway, the other thing you can do is your translocator. Now this is a very useful tool. Your translocator can be placed anywhere on the map. You throw it on the ground and it will stay there. It does have its own health pool. It can't be destroyed. So don't just throw it in the middle of anywhere. Make sure that you're smart about this, okay? Put it in a smart location that you want to pop away to so that you can get out of a team fight. Basically, you press your translocator button to throw it down, and then you press it again to teleport to it. Now, there are a couple of things with the translocator to keep in mind. One, it gives you a brief amount of immunity whenever you translocate. So you can, in the middle of a team fight, use it to kind of escape some sticky situations, such as a D.Va bomb. If you time it right and you throw your translocator and then use it to teleport forward as the bomb's going off, the bomb will miss you. You won't get blasted by it. So that is something to kind of keep in mind, is it does give you like a split second of immunity from damage when you're doing that. So, you know, be smart about it. Also, it is worth noting you can destroy your own translocator and you will immediately be able to place it again. So if you're doing a payload map and you've placed your translocator back at point 1 and you're about to breach point 2, you can destroy your translocator, move up, and place it in a more advantageous spot that puts you closer to the fight and able to get back to the fight quicker. So, you know, as you can see, I hit this button, bam, here I am, right back to my translocator. And then you do have to drop it again after you translocate. But as you can see, I destroy it, and I have about 4 seconds, and that 4-second cooldown also goes away if it's been 4 seconds already. So, like, if I drop that 1, 2, 3, 4, it's only 2 seconds instead of 4 seconds. So, you know, it does lessen the longer that you wait. So it'll either be instantaneous, it'll be 4 seconds or 2 seconds, but you can destroy your own translocator and kind of teleport back. The main thing with Sombra is you want to jump in, you want to pick at the enemy team. You want to your utility, okay? You're not going to be the top of the damage with Sombra. Okay, that's the main thing to think of. Like, if you're getting flamed by the enemy DPS, or by your friendly DPS for not doing more damage than them, it doesn't matter. Your damage, like, yes, Sombra should be doing respectable damage. However, your usefulness to the team depends on your hacks, your ability to capitalize on those hacks, and your team's ability to capitalize those hacks, and doing smart hacking while you're doing it. You know, hacking the right targets at the right time so that you get the right picks. Things like that. That's where your big utility and your big thing comes in. Sombra is probably one of the nastiest DPS heroes in the game right now, and if played effectively, she is an absolute terror in a lot of levels of play. Now, as you have noticed, I also have not touched on her ultimate, which is easily one of the strongest ultimates in the game. It is EMP. What this ability does is she sets off an EMP at her location. All enemies around her get immediately hacked. They have 40% debuff where they take increased damage from all sources for the duration of the hack, and they deal damage equal to 40% of all nearby enemies' health. On top of that, it destroys any barriers or shields around you. So, if you have a Zarya that's shielding, or a Reinhardt that's shielding, and let's say your D.Va throws a D.Va bomb in, and this Reinhardt's trying to shield the team, you can drop EMP, now they're all sitting ducks, bomb goes off, the whole team dies. You know? A good EMP can change the whole course of a team fight. It's disgusting. Again, it's all in the hacks. It's all in how you do it. As you can see, bam! And now everything's taking increased damage, and everything friggin' dies. Couple of things that I haven't touched on yet when it comes to hacking. Yes, you can hack the enemy team. You can also hack health packs. You can hack enemy health packs. And when you hack it, it will recharge faster, and while that symbol is over it, only your team can pick up that health pack. So that can shut down health packs from being picked up from the enemy team. You can also hack things like Torbjorn turrets. So, you know, if you're able to pull it off and you hack a Torbjorn turret, it will shut it down long enough for you to destroy it. But be careful with that, because Torbjorn turrets, if they're not if they're focused on you, it'll knock you, it'll interrupt your hack, so you want to be careful about that. The main thing with Sombra, and she takes a lot of getting used to. Stealth is your friend. Okay, this is the main tip I can give you. Stealth is your friend. Go in, stealth in, hack a target, get out. Okay, you want to utilize the fact of the 40% debuff or the 40% tag through walls, and you want to try to get people in that danger zone as quick as what you can. If you notice someone who is low on health, get your ass over there, hack them. Because the minute you hack them, they're easy pickings. You can pop out of stealth, and you can just absolutely fucking decimate them.
That made my day.
If you start getting focused, she only has 200 health. Don't play around with it. Don't try and be gutsy about it. If you start getting focused, you know you're taking a lot of damage, translocate the hell out of there. One thing to keep in mind, and this is facing Sombra, and this is being Sombra. When you translocate back to your translocator, there is like a graphic that shows you translocating in the direction your translocator is. So if the enemy team is paying attention, or if you pay attention, if you're facing a Sombra, pay attention to if they pay attention to the direction that graphical stream goes, they can follow it back and find where you went. So when you translocate back, you need to move and get away, because there's a pretty good chance they're coming for you. Okay, they're gonna come to your location wherever your translocator is if it's nearby and they can follow. So keep that in mind when you translocate. Don't just stand there like a maroon. Get the fuck away from your translocation spot and re-stealth and reset and get ready to go back in. Keep in mind, you don't have to do the little stealth approach all of the time. If you're in a full-on team fight, there is nothing wrong with being in the team fight and staying with your team. If you're being smart about it and you're not, you know, just being up in their face like, hey, look at me! Like, don't fucking do that shit. But, like, you have good range with this machine pistol you have. So if you're with your team and you're firing, you can gain ult charge and you can hack from out of stealth. So if you're sitting there and you're in the team fight, you can just, bam, hack that target, finish him off. Hack that target, finish him off. I mean, hack only has a couple second cooldown. You can do it multiple times in a team fight, and you can just constantly keep a 40% damage buff going on multiple targets at multiple times, and then the moment that you get that ultimate, you just BOP! EMP, and your team can just absolutely fucking murk them. Okay, Sombra is disgusting if played correctly, and if played well. Now, you know, I've harped on a little bit about that. I'm going to give you some strengths and weaknesses here, okay? Things that Sombra is very, very strong against. Not Torbjorn, Bastion. Very strong against Bastion. A lot of Bastion's hit, his turret mode, stuff like that, it all circles around that stuff, and if you hack him, it shuts him down and basically eliminates an entire part of his kit, because he cannot go turret mode. So if you have a Bastion that's like sitting next to a point and he's just sitting in turret mode, rolling back and forth and mowing everybody down, you hack him, he cannot be in turret mode anymore. So it's a good way to create an opening to allow your team to push in. Wrecking Ball is easily a problem, or easily countered by Sombra. Wrecking Ball's big thing is rolling around his ball mode. So if you hack him, he can no longer do that. He's forced out of ball mode, which makes him highly vulnerable and makes your team able to really capitalize in tearing him a new one. Reinhardt is easily countered by Sombra. His shield is his protection field, you know? So when he has his shield up, or in general, if you hack a Reinhardt, you can't pick his shield up no more. Like I said before, if you time it right and you hack a Reinhardt right as the D.Va bomb's going down, boom, whole team's dead. Okay, same goes with Zarya, same goes with Winston. You know, if a Winston dives in on your team and you hack him, you know, he can't leap back out. and then he's easy picking. Now, that being said, that also caveats into weaknesses. Sombra's weaknesses are pretty prevalent. Anything with a really high damage output or who can stop her, can really slow her down and stop her. McCree can stick her, and I'm pretty sure that stick grenade sticks even translocating. Winston is actually a big counter for Sombra, in my opinion, because of his railgun and his arcing ability. If Sombra tries to get close and to hack somebody and Winston is in the team fight, there's a large chance she's either going to take damage and have the hack get interrupted, or just take damage in general, get knocked out of stealth, and get caught with her pants down. So these are all things that are very rough for her. Pharah and Echo are kind of a problem for Sombra as well. She is kind of a quasi-hit scan with the machine pistol, but she's not as good as, say, a Soldier or a Sojourn. But that being said, you know, if Pharah's up in the air, Echo's up in the air, Sombra can't hack them. Okay, so, and if she can't hack them, that's a whole part of their kit, her kit, that's completely nullified. You know, so these are all things that you need to keep in mind when you're playing Sombra. Sombra, and the last thing I'll leave you with here with Sombra is communication is key. Okay, when you're playing Sombra, have to be able to communicate to your team. If you are someone who does not like to communicate, or if you are someone who does not vocalize things through chat, don't play Sombra. Okay, that's the biggest advice I can give you. Sombra is a heavy communication hero. You should be communicating with your team, letting them know, hey, I've hacked this target. Hey, this target's low, they're one tap, I've hacked them, they're clear. Hey, I have EMP, get ready to bomb. You know, stuff like that. You communicate with your diva. You can communicate with, you know, your Zarya. You can communicate with your Soldier 76. You know, you can communicate with your Reaper. All of these heroes that you can combo your EMP with, you should be communicating with and being like, hey, I have EMP. I am going to drop this when we go in. Get ready to ult. I have hacked this target. I have hacked this target. You need to be communicating these things to your team while you're doing it. If you're not going to do that, your team, especially if you're not in a group setting like in Discord or something, or in team chat in game, you're not communicating this, they may not notice you've hacked a target and that it's one tap. They may not notice or know that you have EMP, and then you go in expecting a combo and they don't know that it's coming, and the EMP happens and they're clear back at spawn. You know, like, these are all things that you need to make sure you're communicating with your team effectively. A good Sombra is one that communicates, hacks effectively, hacks smart, and does not just get picked left and right. She's one of the trickier heroes, in my opinion, to master, but if you master her and you get really good with her, you can absolutely dominate the game. Will be the biggest thorn in the enemy side, and you will just be a god dang nightmare. But with that, that's your beginner's guide to Sombra. If you guys like the video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below if you have any further questions or comments or anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.